Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Muhammad Luthfi, and in this video I would like to do article summary for article that I have been review for throughout this reading. So let's get started. So the first article that I choose is Student Perception about Improving English Listening Skills Using Movies Among the Vocational High School Students by Irfan Bagus Aji Pamungkas and Sugeng Susilo Hadi. In this article, uh, explores vocational high school students' perception of using English movies to improve their listening skills. It emphasizes how visual and auditory input from films enhance comprehension and motivation. And what's the benefit of this? The benefit is students found movies engaging and useful for developing vocabulary, pronunciation, and listening focus. In this article, have a really great strength because it uses real student responses were collected through a questionnaire offering grounded science. And the weakness of this article is the study was limited to a single school and like experimental testing. So yeah, it's just only a single school and also only for some classes. And the next article is the effectiveness of podcasts on listening skills for vocational schools students by Rizya Adeputri Sabrila and Triwintola Apoko. So what's the content of this article? The content of this article is it investigates the impact of podcast-based learning on vocational students listening comprehension. So it's using podcast for is using podcast to know how students improve their listening skills. And the uh, benefit of this based learning is so significant improvement in post-test scores, emphasizing flexibility and repeated exposure. And the strength of this article is clear pre-test and post-test design with statistical analysis. So yeah, it's really clear from the pre-test. There are so many data post-test also in this article. And the weakness of this article is small sample size and short study duration. And the third is the use of English songs to improve English students' listening skills by Aisha Afri Yuninda and Luthfi. So the content of this article is discusses students' perception of learning English listening through song. Yeah, uh, in this article they want to know how students' perception on onto the song to improve their listening skills. So the benefit of this thing is highlighted in highlight increase student enjoyment, vocabulary gain, and pronunciation improvement. So it really make student enjoy and give them more vocabulary and also pronunciation. The strength of this article is high student response rate and relatable media is very related to these days. And the working of this article is just this article is just self-reported data without objective skill assessment. So there is not any assessing in the first and the last. And the fourth, I think okay, the fourth article that I chose is improving student speaking skills through role play technique in 21st century by Igusti Ayu Dwi Pranyandari Pinati. So the content of this article is about reviews the effectiveness of role-play techniques in enhancing student speaking fluency and confidence. So this article is really want to know on how role-play is really effective or not for students to be able to speak more freely, more fluency, and with confidence because there is no any interrupt by their friend and also their teacher. The benefit of this article is role play creates safe environment for real life speaking practice. Yeah, just like I said, so it creates more better environment for them to speak. And the strength of this article is strong theoretical foundation connected to 21st century skills because in this 21st century there are many skills such as speaking that is very important, is very good. And the weakness of this article is less empirical classroom research only. Uh, yeah, I mean just some of the classroom. And the next is study of students' perception. Identifying EFL learners' problem in speaking skill by Ikrar Genidal Riyadi. So the content of this article is about identifies common speaking challenges faced by EFL students, such as inhibition and mother tongue use. So this article is they want to know on what are the challenges that faced by EFL students. Is it just only inhibition or because their mother tongue use their daily language use? And the benefit of this is raises awareness of emotional and cognitive barriers in speaking. And the strength of this article is structured survey based on established theory. The weakness of this article is limited to one context and method, which is questionnaire. Yeah, there is no any they using no any method other than questionnaire. And the next article is enhancing the development of speaking skills for non-native speakers of English by Kamumpan Bunkit. The content of this article is action research on improving speaking skills through confidence building tasks and real life communication. So, by enhancing the speaking skills through confidence building tasks and real life communication. The benefit of this article is emphasize learner-centered speaking strategies and feedback. So it's more on uh, learner than the teacher because they need to speak more and more and have a feedback for them. The strength of this article is authentic classroom application and student voice because it's used a unique method and what student thinking about this method and how they improve. And the weakness of this article is only a small sample and short time frame. Yeah, the next article is the teaching of listening strategies in ASL classroom by Nurse Zana C. Ismail Azlina Abdul Aziz. The content of these articles systematic review of past research on teaching listening strategies in ESL classroom. So this article using want to know the strategy in ESL classroom using previous research. The benefit of this article is clarifies effective strategy types top-down, bottom-up, interactive. So like the benefit of this article really show that the effective strategies such as top-down, bottom-up, and also interactive. The strength of this article is organized prior to this into a coherent summary. And the weakness of this article, yeah, it's only second data only, no new classroom data. It's because y- they only use previous research data. The next article is visualization strategy, an effective strategy to teach reading to middle school students by Adenanda Miri, Tomihas Tomo, Yeti Apritasari. So the content of this article tests the effectiveness of visualization strategies for improving reading comprehension in middle school. So what the benefit of these articles? The benefit is students using visualization perform better in understanding text. Yeah, for the student who use visual, it's usually perform better in understanding text. And the sharing of this article, experimental design with control group and measurable result. So what the weakness of this article? It is limited to one location and one type of text because it's only about visualization. There is no any type of student learning more. And the next is facing anxiety in EFL classroom. A holistic approach and practical study by Muhammad Shaukat Ansari. The content of this article examines resources and effects of speaking anxiety, offering strategies to reduce it. So this article is really want to know the effect of the anxiety for students and how uh, to reduce it. The benefit of this article highlights humanistic teaching to foster confidence and participation. The strength of this article deep classroom reflection with emotional and behavioral insights. The weakness is small participant group and limited generalizability. And the next is the right aid for ELLS, the strategy bilingual student teachers use to help their EL student write effectively. By Sunseri, Anita Besunseri, Mary Anne. The content of this article, case study on how bilingual students teachers support ELL students writing using primary language and cultural responsive strategy. So this article uh, do study on so how ELL student is being supported in their writing in their using their primary language. And the benefit of this article provides real teaching methods and connects home culture with classroom learning. In the sharing of the article is qualitative data with practical classroom tools. And the weakness of this article is focused only on Spanish speaking ELLS in 3 case studies. So what are the interconnection of all these articles? All 10 articles highlight the importance of using interactive, student-centered, and culturally relevant strategies to improve English skill in listening, speaking, reading, and writing. They emphasize learner engagement practical techniques such as song, movies, podcasts, roleplay, and also emotional factors y- such as anxiety and how to how how to deal with it, which is a motivation. Despite various focuses, they collectively support the view that meaningful, real-world context and teacher responsiveness are key to successful ESL or EFL learning. I think that's all from me. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.